Today we're making tables out of solid glass bricks. The bricks are heavy, so I want to make furniture where they can be removed when you're transporting the whole piece. So I thought of an approach similar to how people who make jewelry will set a gemstone into a metal setting. This was the perfect project to test out my new laser cutter that I got from Xtool. It's called the Metal Fab, and it can cut all sorts of metal and even be used for welding and rust removal. Design-wise, this leaves me with the challenge of creating parts that can be made out of 1/8" thick steel. This is pretty easy to do in Adobe Illustrator. I set the grid snaps to 1/8 of an inch so I can make little slots and holes in them that's the same thickness as the steel itself. I designed parts that would fit around these 2x4x8" bricks and then laid them out as efficiently as I could. The Xtool has a cutting bed of 24x24 inches, and I started with a small side table that needed 3 sheets of steel this size. Put the steel in, shut the lid, and it only takes about 8 to 10 minutes to cut out a full sheet this size. Most of the pieces would stay stuck within the sheet itself, but those that fall out are easy to retrieve from the drawer down below. It still feels pretty incredible to have this kind of steel fabrication capabilities within my little garage, but this isn't the cheapest tool, so I really want to find product applications that would have a good margin to justify this cost. The cuts are super precise, but it does have a little bit of slag on the underside of the steel, and I found that it's easier to grind this down while leaving the pieces within the broader sheet. The pieces slot together real easily, particularly when it's just a couple of them at a time. As you start to build up a matrix in 3D, it can get a little more challenging because some of these pieces of steel warped from the heat during the laser cutting. To hold the pieces rigid, I just went in with my welder and tacked them together. Now, in order to get the bricks in and out, I can't weld the whole structure, so I did simplify it down to 2 big pieces of steel with a few additional parts that hold in those middle bricks that are oriented horizontally. I wasn't sure how well it would work or if it would be too wobbly, so I did a full test fit before I went any farther, and I was pretty pleased to see that everything was holding together nice and snug, and even with a little bit of warpage, I was still able to get the pieces of steel to fit together nicely. I ground down the welds a little bit and took it to the powder coater. I was curious to see if the powder coating would add so much thickness that the metal wouldn't slot together, and it didn't go together super easy, but even with just my hands, I was able to push them firmly into place. The bricks cost me $6 each, and I was pretty happy with how this thing looked, and I got a few offers to sell them for around $1,500. So I thought, awesome, let's go a little bigger and see if we can make a coffee table. Now you can take the laser attachment out of the CNC bed of the Xtool and use it to break down sheet steel much more quickly than you can with an angle grinder. Although I still do use the angle grinder quite a bit just because I have so much familiarity with it, and I like to keep the Xtool all set up for CNC fabrication. I should note that the steel isn't exactly 1/8 of an inch, it's slightly under, and that's really important because if I cut the notches at 1/8 of an inch, you want it to be just a hair underneath for it to fit together easily. It's hard to design a structure this complex all in your head, and even with 3D modeling in the computer, it can be a bit daunting. So instead, I started designing it sort of piece by piece, and because the turnaround time with the Xtool and its software is really fast, I could just keep adding pieces as I needed them. The coffee table is about 3 times the size of the side table, and it has a lot more pieces that are interconnected. This made the assembly a lot more challenging because there's more pieces that have to line up with each other even as they sort of are a little bit bent or warped. You can bend 1/8" steel with your hand, particularly if the pieces are long, but as you start putting some of these short pieces together, you really gotta push on them and it's hard on the fingers to get them all to fit. I need the pieces to stick together as I build vertically, because adding one piece can cause a few other pieces to fall off the structure if they're not stuck together. So I started welding them together and had my fingers crossed that the glass would still fit in them. I really didn't do calculations, I just made a bunch of components based around the dimensions of the brick. And then when I needed specific additional pieces as I started to assemble the structure, I would just draw them in Illustrator, cut them into Xtool, and then grind them down. The work may look tedious, but it was pretty fun. I felt like I was designing Lego pieces as I was building brick by brick. And as the structure started coming together, it looked like a 3-dimensional steel cloud. It looked very cyberpunk-ish, and it was actually pretty fun. And definitely having the fabrication abilities and the assembly site all in the same location was a huge convenience. There are services if you just need steel parts cut and you don't want to commit to a full CNC or laser cutter. Websites like SendCutSend can do these things for you. But with the turnaround time, it can kind of inhibit creativity. And this is where I think small-scale fabrication abilities really help a designer. I grew up in the Santa Barbara area of California, and the structure was starting to remind me of some of the oil platforms that I would see when my dad would take us fishing out in the ocean. These last pieces were pretty tricky to get fitted on, but I had revised this design so it didn't have two structures that had to go together. I kind of designed it so the bricks would slide in and only small pieces would need to be clipped in to hold everything steady. It looks like a lot of welding, but they're all small little tacks. And every time I did one, I could feel the structure solidifying and getting less wobbly. I ground the steel down a little bit to clean up any splatter marks from the welder and took it to my powder coater. He's a really great guy, and he sandblasts everything and then put this really nice off-white finish on it. The sequence for installing the bricks matter. I gotta slide these bottom ones in horizontally before I put in the vertical leg pieces, which would encapsulate them. I slid in the next row, added in some little stopper tabs that fit on the ends. This is just to keep a brick from sliding out, and then started with the layer second from the top. And this is where I ran into some issues. I didn't push one of the pieces down notch to notch all the way, and so it was a little bit too high. So it broke my heart, but I had to get my little grinding tool out and grind it down a bit. This means I had to grind through that nice powder coating finish, but I got a little bit of enamel to touch that up, so no big deal. It was just a slight setback and a good reminder to do a little bit more quality control when you're doing that late night welding. I made these little end gates at the end of the underside rows just to keep the pieces from sliding out. And even though the finished piece is real heavy, it was pretty easy to slide around on my concrete floors, and the bricks weren't really rattling. It was going pretty smooth and solid. I really like this technique of using the glass bricks, which just have such a cool material quality with the laser cut steel. And I want to do bigger installation arts, probably some lighting design using this combination. So I'll put links to the Xtool Metal Fab system in the description area below, and let me know if you got any ideas for what I should do with glass bricks next.